This movie was made for about $40,000. It was shot at a university. It was shot in what amounted to 25 days. That was around certain people's schedules, so it was shot in 25 days over a period of 35 days. The crew ranged up to about 20 people or down to probably like 3 people. It was shot on 16 millimeter because I didn't want to shoot on videotape. But we transferred it to video, of course, for a finish. At that time, 1-inch video was like the mastering format of choice. I should have put a star in the movie. I think I could have gotten somebody, like a Richard Hatch or some sort of faded name like that you could get for as little as like $1,000 a day. In this particular instance, I had a part of the professor, which was intended to be shot with a star. If you get a star, you're only going to get them for a limited amount of time, so you kind of have to work around their schedule. Richard Hatch I had for a week on what amounted to a 3-week shoot on Iron Thunder. This professor part was written to have a star in it and could have been shot out in 3 days. The actor who played the professor had done great work for me previously. He didn't do such a great job in the movie. So to this day, I regret that I didn't spend, for like $1,000 or so a day, or especially back then, probably for like an additional $5,000, I would have got somebody in this movie. That's a big mistake I made. Because I think I could have got somebody who would have been worth something, since it was a limited amount of time. If I needed to, it's a way you structure your script is really whether it's worth it or not. But this was done, in Ohio. It got domestic and international distribution. It's become kind of a little mini cult movie. And you saw the short version and stuff, so you sort of see how that idea was expanded for better or worse and turned into a feature, which is something you guys could potentially do. And you'll see that it's largely university set, all locations I knew I could get, small cast, a lot of the things we're like talking about. Originally, the movie did not have any nudity in it. Nudity, again, for those evil and promising foreigners, is a sellable element. The world's still largely like a bunch of like male chauvinistic pigs, so female nudity will get you more territories than male nudity, although both is also, sometimes appropriate. So we did have to actually add the nudity after the film was shot. So those scenes were actually shot later, and they actually helped me make up for some scenes I didn't get to shoot otherwise. There were scenes I couldn't shoot and stuff which didn't work out, so when I had to add nudity, I did it in a way that would help fill in some holes in the story. And you'll sort of see how that worked out. Some movies, a friend of mine made a movie without stars, and the investors were promised there'd be stars in the movie. He had to shoot additional footage with some names and write new scenes for them because the producer was trying to pull a fast one. So this was added for commercial reasons. And we shot coverage, for nudity and non-nudity versions. This is less important nowadays because you can just blur the nudity out or enlarge the shots visually, but we did shoot coverage. And if you have language in your movie, meaning foul language or profanity, you might also consider shooting coverage, or else you'll have to redub the film for television. A distributor recently told me they passed on a movie because they could never make a TV sale because it had so much foul language in it. The Empty Lake has virtually no profanity in it, just kind of worked out that way. Because television, is a big market. Ultimately, that's where your movie will end up running. So without further ado, the movie is just barely 81 minutes long. The original release version was longer. The distributor, because remember I said the magic number was 93 minutes? Well, this movie was 81 minutes long. The distributor made me cut a scene out, which made it even shorter, which I put back in. And then they made me add some other stuff to pad the movie up to 86 minutes, which was the limited amount they could possibly call a feature. This is a remixed version of the movie, so there's a better mix than what we had originally. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope I get it started here in a moment.